Close your eyes now and still the noise of the outer world. Come back to the center of your being, for you are not here by accident, and your soul is not an echo of confusion, but a carrier of divine purpose. The world may have handed you many labels, many roles to play, but beneath it all is a truth untouched by time, a truth that you are gifted, chosen, and equipped by Spirit, in ways you may not yet have understood. You may have wandered through seasons of uncertainty, questioning why you feel different, why you sense things others do not, why you are stirred by invisible currents no one else seems to notice. You may have believed that spiritual gifts are reserved for the anointed few, the prophets on platforms, or the mystics in seclusion. But I tell you now, every soul is born with an inheritance from the divine, and yours is no exception. It is not the absence of gifts that keeps one blind, it is the absence of awareness. For every gift remains dormant until recognized, and once it is seen, acknowledged, and embodied, it begins to move through you like breath through lungs, like wind through trees. Your spiritual gifts are not found, they are remembered. You are not sent here to acquire power, but to unveil what has always been within you. There are impressions you've ignored, nudges you've dismissed, inner knowings you've called coincidence. But nothing in the realm of spirit is accidental. That persistent inner voice, that inexplicable knowing, that compassion that flows unreasonably, the dreams that leave imprints on your waking mind, these are not just experiences, they are the fingerprints of your calling. You have looked for signs in the sky when the signs have been etched into your heart. You have waited for someone to affirm your identity when heaven has already spoken it over you. You are not lacking in spiritual power, you are merely in the waiting room of awareness, and this moment is your invitation to open the door. Your gift may be the ability to discern truth when no one else can see it. It may be the power to comfort others with words you didn't plan to speak. It may be a healing energy in your presence that others cannot name. It may be visions, dreams, unshakable faith, or a stillness so deep it changes the room. Do not judge your gift by the world's standards. Spirit chooses vessels not for status, but for surrender. You don't need to chase the supernatural. You are the supernatural in human form. You are the living evidence of divine intention, and your gifts are not something to be earned through perfection, but awakened through awareness. What you honor within you will rise. What you deny will remain buried in potential. Think now of the moments where you felt most alive. Those flashes of clarity, those unexplainable encounters, those tears that fell without reason. That was your soul whispering through the veil. That was Spirit reminding you, you are more than what you see. The kingdom is not coming from the clouds, it is rising from within. And if you have ever wondered why certain people are drawn to you, why you feel heavy in places others find light, why you cry over things others laugh at, it is because you are wired differently. You are sensitive not by flaw, but by design. For those with spiritual gifts carry frequencies others cannot detect. You were made to be a bridge between dimensions, a messenger between realms. Do not seek permission to be what you already are. The moment you accept your divine assignment, the moment you stop hiding behind humility and step into holy confidence, the gift will flow like a river breaking past a dam. Your mind does not need to understand it. Your soul already does. Yield to that, knowing there is no ceremony, no degree, no certificate that can validate what God already placed within you. You are already authorized by heaven to move, to speak, to heal, to shift atmospheres, to awaken others. The question is not whether you are gifted. The question is whether you are ready to stop pretending you are not. Your spiritual gifts are waiting not for more worthiness, but for more willingness. They do not respond to striving, they respond to surrender. And surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of spiritual courage. When you surrender to who you truly are, the gifts hidden within you begin to activate in silence and in power. You have been feeling the stirring, you have sensed the call. You are not confused, you are being awakened. The fog is not punishment, it is preparation. Because once you step fully into the awareness of your spiritual nature, everything that once confused you begins to make sense. The pain begins to reveal its purpose. The delays begin to reveal divine alignment. The isolation begins to reveal sacred training. You are not meant to compare your gift to another's. The Spirit expresses differently through every vessel, like light through stained glass. No two rays are the same, yet all come from the same source. Yours may not look like the fire of another. It may be a whisper instead of thunder. But power does not need volume, it needs presence. And your presence carries weight when you know who you are. So sit now in stillness and ask not with desperation, but with certainty. What is mine to carry in this world? And then wait. Not for a shout, but for a subtle knowing it will come. Not from above, but from within. Your gift is not something you manufacture. It is something you remember. And when you remember it, embody it, speak from it, move in it, you become the revelation others have been waiting for. Let the doubt fall away now. Let the fear that you are not enough dissolve. Let the illusion that you must do more to be more vanish like smoke. The Spirit is already alive in you. Your gift is already present. All that remains is your yes. The moment you say yes to the truth that you are gifted, everything begins to change. Not because the world outside transforms instantly, but because your perception, your awareness, shifts into alignment with your divine design. And awareness is everything. Awareness is the door, and your faith is the key that opens it. You may have spent years looking outward for affirmation, waiting for someone to discover you, to call out your name and tell you that you matter, that you carry something special. But you were never meant to be discovered by others. You were meant to discover yourself. Your gifts do not respond to applause. They respond to inner agreement. And yet, the world around you has often trained you to dismiss what you feel, to explain away the very evidence of your spiritual nature. You've been told that imagination is childish, that intuition is unreliable, that emotion is weakness. But these are the very languages of spirit. What the world labels irrational, heaven often calls prophetic. What the world suppresses, the divine uses to awaken and transform. Your feelings are not distractions, they are messengers. Your sensitivities are not curses, they are clues. Your visions, your dreams, your inner stirrings, those were never random. They are the fingerprints of God on the inside of your consciousness, pressing gently until you awaken to the truth. You were made to remember, not to conform, not to blend in, but to become the fullest expression of the eternal within you. And so now, as you move through the stillness of your own being, realize this: your gifts are not for performance, they are for purpose. They are not to elevate your image, they are to illuminate the path for others. This is not about being admired, this is about being available. The world doesn't need another personality, it needs more presence. Your presence, in full awareness of the Spirit moving through you. When you deny your gift, you dim the light of God within you. When you shrink back in fear, you postpone the healing that could move through your life. You were not created to question whether or not you have something to offer. You were created to release it without apology. And even if no one sees it yet, even if it goes uncelebrated by the world, it still matters. Heaven sees. Heaven has always seen. What if you stopped waiting for evidence and started trusting your essence? What if you lived as if the gift was already in full operation, not tomorrow, but now? Because the truth is, you are not waiting on your spiritual gift. Your spiritual gift is waiting on you. You've had moments where you walked into a room and felt the energy shift, where someone spoke their need and you knew exactly what to say, though it made no logical sense. You've had moments where your heart was burdened for someone you hadn't seen in years, only to find out they needed prayer. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. You have been used by Spirit more than you know, and the more you lean in, the more it will unfold. You won't need to force it. The gift makes its own way when you stop resisting it. You don't need to know how to control it. You need only to trust the source behind it. You don't need to speak in the tongues of angels to be anointed. Sometimes the most powerful gift is listening with divine compassion. Do not underestimate what seems small. A word of encouragement, a quiet intercession, a moment of silence held for someone in pain. These are acts of spiritual warfare. These are movements of grace. These are the manifestations of the divine flowing through a willing soul. And even if your mind questions it, even if your past tells you you are unworthy, even if your history is stained with mistakes and failures, your spiritual gift does not come with conditions. It comes with covenant. You were always meant to carry it. It was given not because of your perfection, but because of your purpose. And purpose always overrides your past. Your pain didn't cancel your calling. It refined it. What you walked through was not to break you, but to awaken you. The fire didn't come to burn you, it came to reveal the gold inside. And your gift, your true spiritual gift, is forged in the quiet places of surrender, in the hidden places where you said yes to God when no one else was watching. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it. You just need to walk in it. There is no competition in the Spirit. There is no hierarchy of gifts, whether your gift is prophecy or prayer, healing or hospitality, discernment or creativity. Each is a thread in the fabric of divine intention. So take the pressure off. You do not have to try to be gifted. You simply need to become aware of what is already within you. The vine never strives to produce fruit, it abides, and the fruit comes. You are not the source, you are the vessel. And the more you yield, the more freely the Spirit flows. What if today you stopped asking, "Do I have a gift?" and started declaring, "I'm ready to use what I've been given"? That shift changes everything. Because the moment you own your divine identity, heaven responds. Opportunities begin to find you. People begin to recognize what they couldn't see before. Doors begin to open not because of effort, but because of alignment. You are not starting from lack, you are starting from overflow. You are not building something from scratch. You are remembering what was deposited into your soul before time began. There is no scarcity in the realm of spirit. You are connected to an infinite supply, and your gift is simply the way that supply flows into the world. Let go of the need to be dramatic. The Spirit rarely comes with fireworks. It comes in the still, small voice. It comes in the peace that surpasses understanding. It comes in the knowing that won't let go. You are not here to chase signs. You are here to be a sign, to live as a walking expression of God's intention, His creativity, His love. And every time you allow that expression to move through you, through your words, your thoughts, your energy, you are fulfilling your divine assignment, even if no one else recognizes it, even if it doesn't look like what you expected, even if it feels small. It is sacred. So sit with this question. If I knew for certain I was spiritually gifted, how would I show up differently in the world? What would I stop hiding? What would I stop apologizing for? What would I start saying yes to? The answer to that question is your path forward. The moment you choose to live as if your gift is already active, it becomes active. Because the Spirit moves not where it is begged, but where it is believed. You are not waiting on permission. You are not waiting on clarity. You are not waiting on a feeling. You are being called. Right now, in this moment, not to do more, but to remember more. To align with what has been whispering inside of you all along. Let yourself respond to that whisper. Let yourself be bold enough to say, yes, I am gifted. Not with arrogance, but with holy confidence. Not to elevate self, but to magnify spirit. You do not need to know how it will all unfold. You need only to agree with the unfolding. And as you begin to trust that truth, your life will begin to reflect it. You will notice divine timing aligning. You will meet people whose hearts leap when you speak. You will feel energy shifting when you enter a room. And it won't be because you've learned something new. It will be because you finally accepted what was always true. You are gifted, you are called, you are chosen, and the world has been waiting for you to remember. You are not made to blend in with the noise of the world, to silence the very frequency that sets you apart. The spirit within you is not mild, it is mighty, but it moves through stillness. It doesn't shout for attention. It whispers patiently, consistently, through dreams you dismiss, urges you ignore, thoughts you think are just your own, but they are not your own. They are echoes of your divine assignment, knocking gently on the door of your awareness. And now you're beginning to listen. The moment you say, I am willing, the atmosphere shifts. Your reality starts to rearrange itself around that willingness. You may not feel lightning, you may not hear thunder, but something is set in motion in the unseen. Because spiritual gifts are not activated by emotion, they are activated by agreement. Think of all the times you knew something was coming before it came. All the times you walked away from something you couldn't explain and later found it was protection. All the times someone said, how did you know just what I needed to hear? And you shrugged, not realizing that it was your gift flowing effortlessly through your surrendered being. These were not anomalies, they were previews. Previews of what happens when you live in alignment with the spirit that formed you. The gift you carry is not about spotlight or platform. It's about permission to be fully, unapologetically you. Permission to be the interpreter of invisible things, the voice of clarity in a world of noise, the embodiment of peace in a place of chaos. It's not flashy, it's not for show, it's sacred. And if you've ever felt like you don't belong, it may be because you weren't sent to fit in, but to shift. You weren't made to reflect the world, you were made to reveal something greater. There is a reason the crowd never satisfied you. There is a reason you've always craved deeper truth, a higher frequency. You've been spiritually wired to perceive beyond the physical. You've been tuned to heaven's frequency, and now it's time to stop turning down the volume. Stop asking for the world's permission to do what heaven already confirmed. You've been called to awaken, to stand in your authority, not by might, not by power, but by spirit. To stop doubting the inner leading that keeps pulling you forward and start trusting that if it comes from peace, it comes from God. That if it leads you into greater love, greater healing, greater light, it is not your imagination, it is your revelation. You were never empty, you were only unaware. And awareness is what births activation. The moment you become aware of your gift, the gift begins to work on your behalf. You'll be drawn to the right people, led to the right conversations, open to divine timing that human logic cannot explain. That is not coincidence, that is orchestration. And it begins when you stop second-guessing the call and start showing up as the answer. The truth is, your gift is not just for you. It's for someone waiting on the other side of your obedience. It's for the one who doesn't yet know they're loved. It's for the broken one who needs hope. It's for the room that needs light. And when you show up in alignment, you become a portal. You become a gate through which heaven touches earth. That's what the gift is for, to bridge what is unseen with what is seen, to let spirit speak through a surrendered vessel. But understand this, the gift doesn't always feel like power. Sometimes it feels like burden, like being awake in a world asleep, like carrying something too big for words, like sensing things you can't explain, but that's part of the gift. You are carrying weight others cannot see, and your job is not to make them understand. It's to remain faithful anyway. The gift may isolate you, but it will also anoint you. The path of the spiritually awakened is rarely crowded because few are willing to walk by faith when sight is more comfortable. But you were called for more, not more success, not more recognition, more impact, more authenticity, more presence, more divine partnership. When you walk in your gift, you become dangerous to darkness. Your very presence disturbs the atmosphere. Your words cut through illusions. Your silence dismantles confusion. And that's why the enemy tried to convince you you were insignificant, because he knew if you ever discovered who you truly are, if you ever stopped running from your gift, if you ever stood still and let it rise, you would become a force no darkness could contain. Your life is not random. Your wiring is not flawed. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Every part of you has been crafted for this season, this generation, this divine moment. And when you accept that, when you stop apologizing for how you are and start honoring who you are, the gift flows like water breaking through a dam. There is no formula, there is only surrender. The Spirit will lead you, not through logic, but through alignment. You'll feel it in your body, you'll sense it in your spirit, and when you respond, miracles will follow, not because you're trying to perform, but because you're allowing Spirit to flow through a yielded vessel. You don't have to wait for a pulpit to preach. Your life is a sermon. You don't need a stage to shine. Your light is not dependent on visibility. You are luminous, whether seen or unseen. And that's the beauty of the gift. It works in silence, it moves in shadows, it brings light to dark places, not through noise, but through presence. And the more you walk in it, the more you realize it was never about finding your gift, it was about becoming the gift. You are the miracle, you are the message, you are the evidence of what Spirit can do through a human fully surrendered. So stop searching for signs outside you. Start responding to the signal within you. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on your agreement. And when you agree, when you stop resisting, when you stop doubting, when you start declaring, the flow begins. You'll speak and not know why your words pierce someone's soul. You'll show up and healing will begin. You'll dream and the dream will guide you. You'll listen and truth will emerge, not because of you, but through you. And there, in that holy flow, you'll discover the truth you've always known deep down. You were born for this. You were created to carry something heaven-breathed, something not defined by age or background or qualifications, something eternal, something divine. There is no need to convince anyone of it. Your life will speak for itself. Your gift will make room for you, not because you forced it, but because you became it. You do not need to chase it, you need to yield to it. You do not need to prove it, you need to embody it. And even when no one claps, even when the room is silent, even when the fruit is invisible for a while, stay faithful, because the gift is not validated by results. It is activated by obedience. It is not defined by visibility. It is deepened by intimacy. You and Spirit co-creating, co-laboring, moving in harmony. That is where the power lives. So release the need to be spectacular and choose to be spiritual, choose to be surrendered, choose to be authentic. Because when you are fully yourself in God, the gift flows without strain. It flows in joy, it flows in truth, it flows in love, and it reaches the places no man-made effort ever could. You were always meant to be a conduit, a vessel, a holy expression of an invisible reality. And the more you trust it, the more it will pour through you, shaping the world, healing hearts, and awakening others to their own divine nature. You carry more than you know, you always have. Now is the time to stop questioning and start becoming. Let it rise, let it speak, let it shine. Your gift has been waiting on your yes. Let today be the day you give it. There is a quiet moment before every transformation where everything inside of you knows the truth even before your mind catches up. You feel it in the stillness. You feel it in the ache that nothing in the world seems to fill. It's not because you're broken. It's because you're being summoned. And that summons isn't coming from outside of you. It's emerging from within. The Spirit is awakening the gift. This is why you've been restless in rooms where everyone else was content. This is why you felt the pull towards something more, even when life looked stable. This is why you can't ignore the tug to go deeper when others are satisfied staying on the surface. Because you've been carrying something eternal, and eternity doesn't let you settle for temporary satisfaction. The gift inside you refuses to let you stay asleep. The world has taught you how to be productive, but the Spirit is teaching you how to be present. You were not made to run endlessly in circles, chasing approval, chasing validation. You were created to abide, to dwell in truth, to move not from anxiety but from alignment. Your spiritual gift does not activate through effort, it activates through awareness. And the more you rest in your divine identity, the louder that gift begins to speak. You may not know what to call it yet. You may not have the words to define it, but it's real, it's there. That inner wisdom, that creative force, that supernatural compassion, that perception that defies logic, it's all part of it. Stop trying to label what Spirit is trying to reveal. Just let it be, let it move, let it form, and trust that clarity always follows obedience. Every time you've held space for someone in their pain without fixing them, you were operating in your gift. Every time you listened without judgment, prayed without ceasing, forgave without reason, or believed when there was no proof, that was your gift. That was the divine manifesting through your simple, faithful willingness. You don't need to wait until you feel worthy. The truth is, if worthiness were the requirement, no one would ever be used. Spirit flows not through perfect vessels, but through open ones. The gift doesn't need you to be flawless. It needs you to be available. There is power in simply saying, use me, not as a performance, not as a show, but as a surrendered being saying yes to what already is. You may have been conditioned to believe that if no one applauds, it doesn't count. That if the platform is small, the gift must be insignificant. But that's not how heaven measures value. The Spirit isn't concerned with scale, it's concerned with sincerity. One act of love from your spiritual gift can ripple through generations. One whisper of truth can uproot decades of lies. One quiet moment of obedience can change the atmosphere of a family, a community, a nation. Your gift was not given to make you impressive, it was given to make you impactful. The world is filled with noise and distraction, but one word spoken from alignment carries more weight than 1,000 shouted from ego. And you know this because you've felt it. You've been touched by a glance, a phrase, a presence that carried something unexplainable. That is the power of spiritual gifting. It doesn't have to explain itself. It just is. So what do you do now? You listen. You listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit. You watch for patterns. You follow the threads. You pay attention to the things that ignite your soul, because your gift is hiding in the things you've always loved, the things that keep finding you, the things you would do even if no one paid attention. It may be the way you create, the way you comfort, the way you intercede. It may be how you dream, how you lead, how you speak, how you feel. Stop asking for someone to confirm what you already know. The Spirit has already confirmed it. You are anointed. You are equipped. You are chosen for this very moment in time. And your gift is not in rehearsal, it's ready. Stop hiding it beneath busyness. Stop burying it beneath fear. The world does not need more polished performers. The world needs awakened people. People who are not just aware of their gift, but embody it in every moment. People who bring Spirit into meetings, into families, into grocery stores, into conversations. People who leak light wherever they go, not because they're trying, but because they've become it. This is who you are. Not a seeker chasing miracles, but a miracle walking. Not a servant begging for signs, but a signpost pointing others home. You are the evidence of the divine in motion. You are the breath of God wrapped in skin, moving through the world with purpose. And the more you say yes to that, the more power flows through you. You were never meant to be a spectator in this life. You were meant to be a channel, a vessel, a sacred current of truth, light, and love. And even if you never preach a sermon, even if you never write a book, even if you never hold a microphone, Your presence alone is a message. Your energy speaks. Your life is your platform, and when you live from your gift, the world cannot help but notice, even if they don't have words for it. You are not here to fit into a mold. You are here to break the illusion, to shift the energy, to interrupt the programming, to call people back to what is real. You are a divine disruption in a world that tries to stay asleep. And that disruption isn't always loud. Often it's soft, often it's invisible, but it's always powerful. Your job is not to convince, your job is to embody. Let the gift shine, and those meant to receive it will recognize it. They will be drawn not to your talent, but to your truth, not to your skills, but to your spirit. And in that moment, something will awaken in them, just as it has awakened in you. This is how the gift works. It multiplies in the presence of authenticity. It expands in surrender. It flows where there is no resistance, and it speaks where words cannot. There is nothing more to prove, there's only more to become. You don't need to study more to be gifted. You don't need to earn more, know more, accomplish more. You simply need to remember. Remember that the divine chose you, that you were woven in the womb with intention, that every piece of your design has been tailored to your purpose. You are not too late, you are not behind, you are not disqualified, you are right on time, right in alignment, right at the threshold of becoming what you always were. So stop asking for instructions and start walking in trust. Let the gift teach you. Let it unfold you. Let it lead you into deeper surrender. You don't have to do it all. You only have to do the next thing, the next right step, the next act of obedience, the next yes. And every yes opens another layer. Every act of faith unlocks another door. Every time you show up in your authenticity, you give permission for someone else to do the same. This is how we change the world, not through force, but through frequency, through walking so fully in our divine gifting that everything unlike truth begins to unravel in our presence. And when you look back, you'll realize it wasn't about achieving something grand, it was about becoming someone true, someone free, someone surrendered, someone who dared to believe that the gift inside of them wasn't just real, it was necessary. So be still, be bold, be present, and let the gift speak. You don't need a sign in the heavens or a voice from the clouds to validate what has already been whispered into the depths of your being. The confirmation isn't coming from outside, it's already vibrating within your spirit. You've felt it in the stillness, in the moments you could not explain, in the tears that came for no reason, in the words that seemed to flow from your lips that you didn't rehearse or plan. The Spirit has been speaking all along. The only thing left is your agreement. And agreement doesn't require a performance. It requires presence. It requires honesty. To admit, yes, there is something in me greater than what I've known. Yes, there's something sacred moving through my life. Yes, I am not just human, I am divine in motion. And when you begin to live from that place, not ego, not ambition, but spiritual alignment, you stop striving, you stop trying to prove anything, because when you know who you are, the world no longer dictates your worth. Every step you take in awareness is a step deeper into your gift. The Spirit isn't going to reveal everything all at once. That's not how transformation works. That's not how divine purpose unfolds. It's revealed in layers, in seasons, in moments of surrender. And each time you respond with yes, yes to the prompt, yes to the pull, yes to the knowing, the path clears a little more. You're not walking blindly, you're walking faithfully. That's the journey of the gifted. It's not always loud, it's not always visible. Sometimes you're led into the wilderness before you're released into the world. Sometimes the most powerful anointing is hidden in seasons of silence, where the Spirit is preparing you not just to have the gift, but to carry it without crumbling. Your strength isn't measured by how well you perform. It's measured by how deeply you remain rooted in truth when no one is watching. Because your gift will cost you something. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your need to be liked. It will cost you your attachment to being understood. Not everyone will get you. Not everyone will agree with you. Not everyone will see what you see. And that's okay. You were not called to convince the crowd. You were called to carry the current, to bring light into darkness, to bring clarity where there is confusion, to bring healing where there is hidden pain. And when you realize this, you stop waiting for permission to walk in purpose. You stop asking people who don't see your assignment to validate your anointing. You begin to realize that if God gave you the gift, He will also give you the grace to walk it out. You don't need to beg for open doors. You are the open door. You don't need to wait for opportunity. You are the opportunity that heaven is sending into the world. But you have to believe it, because the gift flows through belief. Not just belief in God, but belief in God in you. That is the foundation. That is the anchor. You must believe that the Creator who breathed galaxies into existence also breathed purpose into you. And that purpose is not some future version of you that is finally perfect. It is you right now, in this moment. Broken but willing, wounded but awake, human but housing something holy. This is why the enemy fights your identity. Because if he can keep you from knowing who you are, he can keep you from using what you've been given. But the moment you wake up, the moment you rise into remembrance, the chains fall, the lies unravel, the fear loses its grip, and you begin to see clearly you were never inadequate, you were never forgotten, you were never disqualified, you were just asleep to the truth of your nature. But now you are waking, and in that awakening something begins to shift, not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone connected to your obedience. Because your gift isn't just about you, it's about legacy. It's about the generations that will walk in freedom because you chose to walk in truth. It's about the people who will be healed because you chose to stop hiding. It's about the awakening of those who didn't know it was possible until they saw it in you. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be known to be significant. All you have to do is become the embodiment of the truth you carry. That's all Spirit requires of you. And when you live that truth, your life becomes a sanctuary. Your words become medicine. Your energy becomes deliverance. You become the answer to a prayer someone didn't know how to pray. You become the answer to a prayer someone didn't know how to pray. And the gift flows not from effort, but from intimacy. From being so close to the divine within that everything you do, everything you touch, everything you speak, carries the weight of glory, not because you tried to be spiritual, but because you allowed yourself to be available. That's where the gift moves, in availability. So ask yourself now, are you willing? Are you willing to trust that you don't need to see the full picture to walk in the next step? Are you willing to let go of the need to explain yourself to those who are not assigned to your journey? Are you willing to walk in confidence even when you feel unsure? Are you willing to say yes without knowing the how? Because that's all it takes, a yes. Not a perfect plan, not a flawless strategy, just a surrendered yes. And once you offer it, the gift begins to stir. The oil begins to flow. The door begins to open, not outside of you, but within. Within. And that inner opening is where the miracle starts. From that place, you no longer look for validation from the world. You don't need applause to know you're aligned. You don't need confirmation from man to know you are called. You walk with quiet confidence, with inner authority, with an unshakable knowing that God is moving through me and I am enough for this moment. And the more you stay in that place, the more you begin to realize this gift isn't something you possess, it's something you are. It's not something you activate, it's something you awaken to. You are the gift. You are the channel. You are the light. And the more you allow yourself to embody that reality, the more heaven flows through your life like living water. You were born with a blueprint. You were designed with intention. And even if life tried to bury it under trauma, under shame, under delay, under confusion, it's still there, waiting, ready, undamaged, unbroken, divine. So don't delay another moment. Don't postpone your purpose for the comfort of the familiar. Don't silence your truth to avoid conflict. Don't bury your gift just to make others comfortable. Rise into who you were always meant to be. Speak what you were born to say. Live as if your yes is shifting the atmosphere, because it is. There is something sacred in you that the world cannot afford to lose. There is a sound in your voice that someone is waiting to hear. There is a light in your soul that will ignite the fire in others. But it starts with your yes. It starts with your agreement. It starts with your awareness that you are not here to chase purpose, you are purpose embodied. You've carried it long enough in silence. You've questioned it long enough in secret. You've minimized it long enough out of fear. Now is the time. Now is the moment, now is the season to let it rise, let it move, let it speak. Let it touch the world through you. You are ready, not because you have all the answers, but because you have the awareness to say yes. And when you say yes, fully, finally, fearlessly, the gift that has always been waiting for you begins to flow without limit. So now stand not as one who is searching, but as one who has found. Not as one who begs, but as one who remembers. The gift within you has never been absent, only awaiting your agreement, your awareness, your yes. You are not waiting on a sign, you are the sign. You are not lacking, you are overflowing. Walk now in the quiet certainty that Spirit has chosen you, equipped you, and is moving through you. Let your life become the evidence. Let your presence become the answer. The time is no longer coming, the time is now. And you are ready. After April 25, 2025, there will come a great stirring within the hearts of those who call themselves by His name. Not because a trumpet has sounded in the outer world, but because something ancient and eternal has awakened within. The old garments of fear, of separation, of waiting for permission to be divine, these will fall away like worn-out veils. The stirring will not come with chaos, but with stillness. It will whisper to each soul, you are not who you thought you were. You are who I have always known you to be. This is not a time to look to the skies and wonder if the heavens will break open. The veil will tear not above but within, and the tearing will be gentle, like dawn light dissolving shadows. You will begin to see differently. People you once judged as lost, broken, or distant from God, you will see them and know there is Christ also. The line between the sacred and the secular will blur until all becomes radiant with the presence. Do not be surprised if your prayers change. They will not be begging cries to a distant throne, but quiet affirmations from one who knows that what is desired already is. You will speak not to get something, but to reveal it. Because from this moment onward, the word shall become flesh more swiftly than before. Thought, belief, assumption, these will crystallize into experience, not through effort, but through consciousness. Every Christian will feel the shift. Not all will understand it at once, but all will be touched. Some will resist, trying to hold on to the old wineskins of doctrine and fear, but the new wine will not be contained. They will come to see that what they called faith was often just waiting. Now faith will be known as the bold acceptance that it is done already within. After this date, the mirror of the world will reflect the inner self more clearly. Whatever is held in the secret place of the mind will rise to the surface. This is not punishment, it is revelation. If you hold love, you shall see it. If you harbor bitterness, it will echo until you are willing to dissolve it. The world will become your canvas and your confession. The time for hiding is over. Many will begin to remember dreams they never dreamed. Memories of the soul's true identity will return like old songs hummed from the deep. Some will weep, not from sorrow, but from the recognition of glory long forgotten. And with the remembering will come power, not the power to control others, but the power to imagine boldly and know that imagination is the first act of creation. After April 25th, Christians will no longer look outside for the kingdom. They will hear the words differently now. The kingdom of God is within you, not a metaphor, not someday, not far off, but here, now. And you, the imaginer, are its door. The world may not know what has shifted, but the awakened will. The old timelines, the expected patterns, they will crumble. Some will try to explain it with logic, with news, with politics, but you will know it is the unseen hand of God within us, writing a new chapter not on tablets of stone, but on the living hearts of those who dare to believe. And what will begin to unfold will not be a religion renewed, but a consciousness reborn. And what will begin to unfold will not be a religion renewed, but a consciousness reborn. It will not be through the loud cries of institutions, nor the echoes of ancient rituals performed without understanding, but through the quiet knowing rising in the individual soul. There will be a recognition that what we have called God has never been far, has never been absent, has never withheld, but has waited patiently in the silence of our own being for us to awaken. After April 25, 2025, Christians will begin to understand that the second coming was never meant to be observed in the clouds, but in the awareness dawning in each one who dares to see God in themselves. The veil of unworthiness, the long-held belief that God is out there and we are down here, will melt in the warmth of inner illumination. The Spirit will no longer be a visitor. It will be known as the permanent resident within. People will feel an odd stirring, a hunger they cannot name at first. It will not be a hunger for more things or louder sermons, but for quiet, for truth, for the sacred in the ordinary. They will begin to withdraw from the noise, not as an escape, but as a return to the center, the still point within, where the voice of God has always whispered, "Be still and know that I am." The churches will feel it, the pulpits will feel it, some will try to suppress it, for this awakening will not conform to man-made hierarchy, but the Spirit will move as it pleases, and no structure, no tradition, no fear will be able to contain it. For the time has come when truth shall no longer be held behind robes and rituals, but shall be written on the hearts of the many. And they will prophesy, they will dream dreams, they will speak words of life, not because they were trained, but because they were called. Those who have long prayed, "Thy kingdom come," will suddenly realize it has come, not through the shaking of mountains, but through the rising of consciousness. It will feel like remembering something long forgotten, an ancient knowing that was always there, hidden behind years of conditioning and fear. Fear will begin to lose its grip, slowly at first, like the thaw after a long winter, but it will go. The fear of lack, the fear of judgment, the fear of punishment, the fear of death. These will begin to crumble under the weight of a deeper truth, that perfect love casts out fear, and that love is not merely God's attribute, it is the very essence of the one who breathes through us. Many will find themselves unable to speak of God in the old way. The words won't fit anymore. They will no longer be able to call themselves sinners, not because they are prideful, but because they have remembered their origin. They will speak with humility, not false humility that cowers, but the kind that comes from knowing who they are in the I am. And this knowing will not puff them up, but make them deeply compassionate, for they will recognize God in everyone, yes, even those they once called enemy. The idea of waiting will lose its meaning. No more postponing joy, healing, peace, or salvation for some future day. After April 25, there will be a spiritual urgency, not of panic, but of clarity, a knowing that now is the appointed time, that what you assume to be true of yourself now becomes your world, that faith is not hoping something might happen, but assuming it already has. Some will be startled by how fast things change. They will think a thing and it will come to pass. They will speak a word and see it return fulfilled. Not because they have become gods apart from God, but because they have accepted their oneness with the Creator. What was once mystery will become intimacy. Life will begin to reflect what is held in imagination. This will be the mark of the awakening. No longer will people pray from lack, but from fulfillment. They will close their eyes and see themselves as healed, whole, provided for, loved, and the world will respond, not out of obligation, but as a mirror to the one who imagines. Even nature will seem to respond. Birds will sing sweeter, the wind will carry messages, sunlight will feel like it touches the soul. This is not poetry, it is perception. For the awakened ones will no longer see separation between the divine and the material. All will be one. All will be sacred. The grass beneath their feet will be holy ground, not because of superstition, but because of awareness. Relationships will shift. Those who have lived in cycles of pain will begin to see they were not victims, but participants in a dance they didn't know they were choreographing. And once they know it, they will change the dance. They will stop rehearsing wounds. They will imagine new stories, new connections, new beginnings, and they will manifest. There will be resistance, yes. The old self will not vanish without protest. It will rise and try to convince you that you're just imagining things, that you're not worthy, that you must earn this grace. But something deeper will speak louder. The I am within will say, you are already that which you seek. You have only to believe. Christians who once looked only to external authorities will discover their own voice, and they will be startled by how divine it sounds. They will write, they will sing, they will speak, and in their words there will be life. The breath of spirit will animate their imagination, and they will become creators, not spectators. Some will weep when they realize how long they carried burdens they never needed to carry, how long they waited for permission to be loved, but the tears will be healing waters, washing away the lie of separation, washing away the shame of believing they were anything less than sons and daughters of the Most High. Children will feel it too. They will begin to speak with wisdom beyond their years, for they have not yet forgotten what many adults are now remembering, and the elders, those who once believed their time had passed, will be reawakened. For this awakening is not bound by age, gender, denomination, or culture. It is for all. The sacred texts will open in new ways. Words once read with duty will now blaze with light. Passages once interpreted through fear will now reveal themselves as invitations to freedom. For the lens has changed, the reader has changed, the veil is lifted. Even the concept of time will begin to shift. People will live more in the present moment. They will release the weight of the past and stop anxiously projecting into the future. For they will know now is the only place where creation happens, and they will cherish it. They will speak less and mean more. It will be a strange season. To the world it may look like chaos, old systems may tremble, institutions may shake, but underneath there will be a stillness, a knowing, an unshakable peace, because those who have awakened will walk by a different light. They will not need to argue or convince, they will simply be, and in their being they will carry presence, a presence that heals, uplifts, and awakens others by its very nature. And the greatest miracle will not be in signs and wonders, though those will come. The greatest miracle will be that people will remember who they are. They will remember that the kingdom of God was never far, never future, never somewhere else. It was within, always. And this remembering will not lead to pride, but to deep reverence. For when one truly knows who they are, they also know who everyone else is. The veil drops for all. No more sacred the secular, no more chosen the forsaken. Only one body, one spirit, expressing in infinite form. After April 25, 2025, the invitation is open. Not everyone will accept it at once. Some will cling to the old wineskins, to the familiar chains. but the invitation will remain. It will not come with threats, but with whispers. It will not coerce, but call. And those who answer will step into a life not of effort, but of alignment, not of striving, but of surrender, not of waiting, but of becoming. And becoming, they will find that they were never becoming anything at all. They were only awakening to what they already are. And with that awakening, something sacred will begin to unfold in their daily lives, not with fireworks, but with quiet miracles. A thought of peace will suddenly dissolve years of anxiety. A moment of gratitude will shift the entire atmosphere of a home. A simple act of love done in silence will ripple across timelines. No one will fully understand how such small things are producing such great waves of change, but those who have eyes to see will know. It is the power of awakened awareness. For the one who is awakened does not pray from desperation anymore. They commune in certainty. Their words no longer beg, they declare, not with arrogance but with authority. They speak not as ones trying to be heard by heaven, but as ones who know heaven lives in them. They speak, "Let there be," and it is so. Not because they command from ego, but because they harmonize with the divine frequency of I am. The inner world of the believer will become more real than the outer one. They will understand that the outer world bends to the inner conviction, not the other way round. When they walk into a room, they will know they carry the presence of God, not because they are trying to impress, but because they have become a living tabernacle. The presence is no longer something they visit on Sundays. It is something they carry every day, everywhere. This will affect how they see lack. Scarcity will begin to feel like a foreign concept, for they will come to understand that all provision flows from the state of being, not the toil of doing. They will assume the feeling of abundance and the world will respond. They will no longer chase provision. Provision will appear as they walk in alignment. The struggle for survival will fade as they realize they were never meant to survive, they were meant to create. And so their work will change. It will no longer be driven by fear or obligation, but by joy and purpose. People will begin to leave behind what drains them and step into what sets their soul on fire. And as they do, they will not fear lack, for they will see that the universe, God in motion, rushes to support the one who walks in truth. The right connections, the right ideas, the right opportunities, they will come, not because of striving, but because of resonance. Worship will change. It will no longer be confined to music or church buildings, though those things may still have their place, but worship will become a state of being, a breath taken in awareness of the divine, a laugh shared in pure joy, a meal blessed not by ritual alone, but by the gratitude that overflows from a heart full of knowing. And in that knowing, the sacred will return to the ordinary. Even language will shift. People will begin to choose words that speak life. They will not waste their breath rehearsing limitation. They will catch themselves mid-sentence, stopping negative declarations and rephrasing with power. I am tired because I am restoring. I am sick because I am healing. I am afraid because I am learning to trust. They will speak as those who know their words are seeds, and they will plant them with care. Relationships once built on dependency and fear will transform. People will begin to love from fullness, not from emptiness. They will stop looking to others to fill the void, because they will have found the well within. And from that well will flow a love that does not grasp, does not control, does not manipulate, but sets free. People will begin to let go with grace, forgive with ease, bless those who leave and cherish those who stay, all from the awareness that everything is always working together for good. The dreamscape of many will shift. Night visions will become vivid, almost tangible. Instructions will come in dreams. Comfort answers confirmation. It will no longer be strange to say, I dreamed it and now I see it. For the veil between the seen and the unseen will thin. More people will understand that the imagination is not a place of fantasy, but of formation. What they rehearse in the invisible will show up in the visible. They will all say the same in the visible will show up in the visible. Children will speak of things they could not have known. Elders will have their strength renewed. The lonely will find that the presence has never left them. The grieving will begin to dream again. Those cast out will rise. The ones who were mocked for believing too much will be sought after, for their faith will begin to produce undeniable fruit. And the fruit will not be just for themselves, but for all who taste of it. It will become impossible to stay small. The old roles will no longer fit. People will look in the mirror and no longer see the version of themselves shaped by trauma, by generational fear, by religious guilt. They will see light. They will see truth. And with that seeing will come boldness, not to dominate others, but to walk fully in who they are. The timid will speak, the tired will rise, the forgotten will remember. And money, yes, even money, will no longer be a master or mystery. It will be understood simply as a symbol, a shadow of belief. Those who once labored in lack will realize it was not money they were chasing, but worth. And as they begin to see their own worth, provision will come, not through manipulation or fear, but as a reflection of a new identity. They will give freely and receive freely. They will no longer hoard, for they will know the source is empty. Miracles will become normal, not just the physical kind, though those too. Bodies will be healed, minds restored, addictions broken, but more subtly, the miracle of joy in the mundane, peace in the middle of uncertainty, love in the face of rejection. These will be the quiet signs that the kingdom has come near, and not only near, but here. Some will be startled at how easily their reality shifts. A problem they once fought for years will dissolve in a moment of alignment. A desire once held at a distance will manifest as soon as they release the need and simply know it is done. People will start saying, things just work out for me now, not as a cliche, but as a living truth. And the more they affirm it, the more it will become so. Old cycles will lose their grip. Generational patterns will end, not through struggle, but through revelation. A woman will wake up one morning and realize, I am not my mother's pain. A man will forgive his father and feel his shoulders lift. Families will heal, not all at once, not all easily, but undeniably. Those who once felt like exiles will become bridges for others to cross into freedom. There will be no need to argue doctrine. Those who awaken will speak little of belief and much of being. They will not try to convince others through debate, but through demonstration. Their life will become the message. Their peace will preach louder than any sermon. Their joy will prophesy. Their abundance will testify. And many will ask, what has changed? And the answer will be simple, I remembered. And from this remembering, a new community will be born, not one based on conformity, but on resonance. People will gather not out of obligation, but out of shared vibration. They will celebrate the divine in each other. They will laugh more, judge less, create art that moves the soul, build businesses that bless the earth, teach children to dream bigger. They will not wait for the world to change. They will know the world is responding to them. And slowly the collective atmosphere will begin to shift. It may not be reported on the news, it may not trend on platforms, but hearts will feel it. Something holy will move through the streets. Kindness will increase. Coincidences will multiply. Synchronicities will become language. A thought of someone will be followed by a message from them. An idea imagined will open a door the next day. A prayer spoken in stillness will echo in the world. And all of this, not because something came from the outside, but because something was released from within. After April 25, 2025, the invitation will stand to choose this moment to awaken, to remember, not to try harder, not to earn, not to strive, but to say with inner authority, I am. And in that declaration, the walls will fall, the chains will break, and the light will pour in, not because the world changed, but because you did. And the world had no choice but to follow. Because the world is not separate from the one who sees it. The world bends to the observer, reflects the internal weather of the soul. It's always been so. And now, after the shift, more will begin to see that they are not at the mercy of external forces, but architects of experience. Not spectators, but authors. They will realize they've been given dominion, not over others, but over their own state of being, that this is the true inheritance, that this is the promise. Those who were once asleep in the illusion of powerlessness will rise from their slumber. They will see that what they once called fate was only their unexamined assumptions hardening into form, that the so-called facts of their lives were just beliefs given enough energy, enough attention. And with that recognition will come the key. They can change it. They can revise it. They can redeem the past by changing their reaction to it, for nothing is fixed, not even memory. And in revising memory, they will alter the trajectory of their entire lives. They will not wait for apologies to be free. They will not wait for permission to shine. They will understand that forgiveness is not a favor done for others, but a liberation of the self from the bondage of resentment. They will say, I forgive because I no longer choose to live in the vibration of pain. And in that moment of decision, the body will begin to heal, the spirit will rise, the mind will clear, because resentment binds and forgiveness releases. Even time will begin to feel different. Hours will stretch or compress according to inner flow. People will lose interest in the frantic ticking of clocks and begin to move by rhythm, by intuition, by spirit. They'll realize the difference between productivity and alignment. That when they're in alignment, things happen through them, not by them. That in the flow of spirit, effort is minimal and impact is maximum. They'll begin to trust silence, no longer needing to fill every space with sound, because in the stillness, they'll begin to hear, not just with ears, but with knowing. They'll begin to recognize the voice that has always been guiding, always been whispering, this is the way, walk in it. They'll stop ignoring that voice, they'll stop second guessing, and when they follow it, doors will open with ease. The striving will cease. Not because they've given up, but because they've finally understood there is nothing to prove. There never was. That what is truly theirs does not need to be forced. It flows to them. That destiny is not a distant destination, but a vibration, a frequency they tune into by becoming it. The inner work will become the outer miracle. Old prayers will take new shape. No longer, God, please do this, but God, in me, I give thanks that it is already done. No longer begging, but assuming. No longer waiting, but walking in it. And as they live in the end will become the beginning. The unseen will clothe itself in form, and they will know it wasn't chance, it was choice. Even language about the divine will evolve. People will stop speaking of God as out there and begin to say, I and the Father are one. Not as blasphemy, but as birthright. Not as arrogance, but as awareness. They will revere God not by shrinking, but by expanding. By living as vessels of love, peace, power, they will embody the Word. Become the Word, speak the Word, and it will not return void. The old self, once built on fear, on shame, on separation, it will fall away, layer by layer, until only the light remains, until only the truth remains. And the truth is, they were never broken, never forsaken, never unworthy, only unaware. But now they are waking up. They will begin to rewrite the stories they've lived under, stories of limitation, of failure, of generational pain. They'll say, that's not mine anymore. They'll tell a new story. I come from favor, I walk in grace, I attract good, I am loved beyond measure, and reality will align to the new script, because the subconscious accepts what is repeated, and the word made flesh begins in the repetition of belief. Communities will feel the shift, not all at once, but subtly. The neighbor who was once cold will begin to soften. The angry friend will begin to ask questions. The estranged parent will send a message. Not because someone preached at them, but because something shifted in the unseen. A vibration changed, and hearts respond to the new frequency. Even enemies will feel it, and many will be disarmed, not by argument, but by presence, by love that is not weak but whole. A love that holds boundaries, speaks truth, but refuses to hate. a love that says, I see the light in you, even if you don't. And some will awaken simply because they were seen, simply because someone believed in their light. Those who once obsessed over prophecy and timelines will stop fearing what is to come. They will realize that prophecy was never about predicting doom, but about inviting transformation. That the signs were not warnings of wrath, but reminders to awaken. They will stop looking for Antichrist and start embodying Christ consciousness, not as a future event, but as a present reality. Yes, some will resist, some will mock, some will hold tightly to the old, because it feels safer than the unknown. But even in them, the seed will be planted, and in time, when the soil is ready, the seed will break open, because truth cannot die, it only waits. And in the waiting, the world will keep shifting, the atmosphere will keep rising. Those who awaken will create new systems, education that empowers, economies that uplift, art that heals. They will not try to escape the world, but transform it, not from above, but from within, because they know now the world is an extension of consciousness. Change the root, and the fruit must follow. They will no longer fear the dark, for they will see that light is not the absence of darkness, but its transformation. They will not run from shadow, they will integrate it, heal it, bless it, and in doing so reclaim the power that was buried beneath shame. They will no longer divide themselves into holy and unholy. They will see the sacred in it all, the broken, the blessed, the becoming. This is what it means to be reborn, not to become someone else, but to remember who you were before fear named you, before shame shaped you, before you believed you were anything less than divine. And this remembering, this rising, it will be contagious. It will not need evangelism, for its fruit will draw the hungry. It will not need defense, for its peace will speak. It will not need approval, for it will be rooted in knowing. And the knowing will become being, and the being will become doing, and the doing will become creating, and the creating will become legacy. A legacy not built on titles or monuments, but on energy, on presence, a legacy of freedom, of light, of love in action. They will understand that they are not waiting for heaven, they are revealing it, not in some distant realm, but here, now, in the words they speak, in the thoughts they think, in the love they give, in the peace they carry, in the world they imagine, and therefore the world they make. And all of this from a single moment of decision. A moment when one soul dared to believe, I am who God says I am. And so it begins. The world will not recognize the moment it shifted, for it will not come with trumpet blasts or calendar alerts. It will come quietly, like a breath, like a whisper, like the moment a seed breaks open under soil, unseen but inevitable. And those who are attuned will know. They will feel the soft rearranging of the invisible structure beneath the visible world. They will feel a pull, not toward chaos, but toward clarity. And clarity will become the new compass. People will begin to move not by pressure, but by peace, not by external demands, but by inner resonance. They will stop asking, what shall I do, and begin to ask, what feels aligned with who I truly am. They will honor the whisper, and the whisper will guide them into green pastures, into places where provision is natural and joy is the default. The sense of identity will change, no longer shaped by wounds or roles, but by essence. People will begin to say things like, I am not my title, I am not my trauma, I am not my struggle, I am the awareness that watches, I am the presence that remains. And from this awareness a holy detachment will rise, not indifference but power, the power to choose again, to imagine again, to love again without fear of loss. And fear, yes, even fear, will begin to lose its grip. It will no longer be the master. It will no longer disguise itself as caution or wisdom. People will begin to recognize when their decisions are fear-based and begin to override them, not recklessly, but righteously. They will understand that fear never tells the truth. It only distorts what is possible. And possibility will become the new language. New desires will emerge, not from ego, but from essence. Desires born from the soul, not from comparison. Desires that feel clean, light, joyful. And when these desires are honored, manifestation will accelerate, not because the laws have changed, but because resistance has fallen away. The inner tug of war between am I worthy and can I have it will end, and in its place will be a quiet knowing, it is already mine. The laws that govern this reality will become clearer, not as superstition, but as science of the soul. People will begin to experiment with their thoughts the way an artist experiments with color. They will begin to notice the link between assumption and outcome, between self-talk and circumstance, between expectation and experience. And they will no longer call it coincidence. They will call it law. They will see how feeling precedes form, how the world does not respond to need but to belief, to embodiment. That the answer does not come because one begged for it, it comes because one aligned with it. They will learn to feel the end, not merely hope for it, to dwell in the wish fulfilled, and the fulfillment will chase them down. Peace will take on a new meaning, not the absence of trouble, but the presence of deep, immovable trust. Trust that no matter what arises, all is well. That every event, whether pleasant or painful, is drawing them deeper into truth, into freedom, into the awareness of their eternal nature. Even the perception of suffering will begin to shift. People will no longer ask, why is this happening to me, but what is this showing me? They will stop labeling things as curses and begin seeing them as catalysts. The heartbreak that opened their heart, the delay that protected their path, the rejection that realigned their soul. They will stop fearing pain and start harvesting wisdom from it. This is not the end of pain, but the end of being enslaved by it. It will become natural to bless the past, to look back and say thank you, even for the hard moments, especially for the hard moments, because they became the fire that refined, the storm that awakened, the loss that cleared space for the new. People will speak differently about time. No longer, I'm running out of time, but I am exactly where I need to be. No longer, I missed my moment, but my moment is within me. They will begin to live from timelessness, not in denial of the clock, but in transcendence of it. They will see that divine timing is not on a calendar, it is a state of consciousness. And consciousness, this will become the most valuable currency. Not knowledge, not status, not possession, but awareness. The one who sees clearly will hold the true power, not because they dominate, but because they create, because they know how to hold a vision, because they know how to remain unmoved in the face of contradiction, because they no longer live reactively but creatively. They will stop reacting to the news and start responding with vision. Stop panicking about what is and start anchoring what will be. They will become thermostats, not thermometers, setting the tone, changing the room, shifting the energy, and others will feel it without explanation, without announcement. Something will simply feel different in their presence, and that difference will be God in expression. The division between spiritual and practical will vanish. Business will become sacred. Parenting will become prophetic. Art will become prayer. The grocery run will become an altar. Because people will no longer separate life into compartments. They will see the whole thing as holy. Sacred space will be redefined, not by walls or rituals, but by awareness. A person walking in alignment will carry sanctuary with them. Peace will go before them, order will follow them, favor will surround them, and it won't be superstition, it will be cause and effect. Because alignment creates acceleration, and acceleration is coming, not to overwhelm, but to deliver, to bring to pass what once seemed far away. The prayers whispered years ago will suddenly appear as answers. The visions once scribbled in journals will become reality. The seed planted in faith will break ground. And it will feel fast, but it will not be rushed. It will feel miraculous, but it will not be random. It will feel divine because it always was. And in this flow, people will stop trying to control outcomes. They will stop scripting every step. They will begin to live in trust, in curiosity. They will say, I don't know how, but I know it is unfolding. And this surrender, this faith in motion, will part waters. Even rest will change. It will no longer be seen as laziness or indulgence, but as power, as divine reset, as a tool of alignment. People will stop glorifying exhaustion, stop wearing burnout as a badge of honor. They will understand that rest is not the opposite of productivity, it is the fuel of it. And as they rest, they will hear. As they rest, they will receive. As they rest, they will reset their frequency to one of clarity, creativity, and confidence. Everything will begin to flow from being, not doing. Doing will still happen, but it will not lead. Being will lead, and the doing will follow naturally, effortlessly, from a place of alignment. No longer chasing, but attracting. No longer hustling. The old systems will tremble, not because of protest alone, but because of presence. Because awakened people cannot be controlled, they cannot be manipulated by fear, they cannot be lured by illusion. They are sovereign, they are clear, and that clarity is contagious. The hunger for truth will rise. The hunger for authenticity will rise. People will begin to feel sick from pretending. They will begin to crave realness like water. And those who are real, who are whole, who are integrated, will become beacons, not because they are perfect, but because they are true. True to who they are, true to what they carry, true to the light within. And that truth will liberate others. All of this awakening, this transformation, this quiet revolution, it will not come through force, it will not come through systems. It will come through people. Ordinary people who remember they are extraordinary. Everyday souls who remember they are eternal. Children of light who finally say yes to who they've always been. And when they say yes, the heavens respond, the earth responds, all of creation begins to conspire for their good. Because it always has been. Because it always will be. Because the moment you say, I am, all things begin to align with that name. The name above all names. The name that was given to you before you were born. The name that unlocks doors, parts seas, stills storms, and raises the dead. The name that is not outside of you, but lives in you. You speak it with every breath. And when you speak it in truth, you become what you've always been destined to be. And so, beloved, as we step into this unfolding reality, this divine unveiling, we do not tremble, we do not shrink, we do not delay. We rise, we walk with boldness, not because of who we were, but because of who we now remember ourselves to be. The light has come and we are its vessels. The call has sounded and we are its answer. Let every step forward be a declaration. I am aligned, I am awakened, I am available for the fullness of God within me. Let the world see not our striving, but our surrender, not our noise, but our knowing, not our fear, but our faith. For we are no longer waiting, we are creating, no longer hoping, we are embodying. The time is no longer coming, the time is now. The shift is not future, the shift is here. We are the evidence, we are the sign, we are the Word made flesh. And it is done. Close your eyes for a moment and realize this. You have never walked alone, not once. Not in the dead of night, not in the moments when fear crawled up your spine, not when your heart broke silently in the corner of a crowded room. The very presence of God that you cannot see is the same presence that surrounds you, shields you, and lifts you, whether your eyes are open or closed, whether your heart is heavy or light. Angels, those ministering spirits, are not figments of poetic tradition. They are real. They move at the speed of thought. They respond to the vibration of faith. And they guard you. The unnoticeable, the untraceable, the unwitchable, the untraceable. There are moments when you hesitated for no reason and were saved from a disaster. That pause, that whisper, that subtle change of mind, it was not random. It was the invisible protection of God manifesting through unseen forces that act on your behalf. There is no chaos too dark, no danger too close that these messengers cannot navigate. They move before your footsteps and prepare the ground. They do not speak to your ears, they speak to your knowing. They plant thoughts, nudge feelings, stir awareness, and while you think it was merely a coincidence, they've orchestrated a divine intervention. Everything in your life that has worked out mysteriously, unexpectedly, or unexplainably in your favor has been a signature of their involvement. You thought you were late and avoided the collision. You thought you were rejected but were being redirected. You thought the deal fell through, but it was God's angels closing the wrong doors so the right ones could open. You were not abandoned, you were escorted by hands unseen. They operate under the authority of divine law, not human reasoning. They do not wait for your sight, they act upon your faith. And whether you're aware of it or not, faith is not what you say with your lips, it is the state you dwell in. If you live from fear, you miss the frequency. If you live from trust, they are already dispatched. The entire unseen realm operates on alignment, not pleading. It answers to assumption, not desperation. You are surrounded by legions, not one or two, legions, assigned not just to your body but to your destiny. They war not only for your safety, but for your purpose. There are angels that protect your path, and there are angels that protect your peace. Some will stand between you and danger, others will stand between you and self-sabotage. And you do not need to summon them like a beggar. You simply must remember that they are there. Because the secret is not in commanding angels, it is in walking as if they already walk with you. When you step forward with that inner confidence, that silent authority that says, I am not alone, everything around you begins to respond differently. People sense something on you. Circumstances bend to your favor. Opportunities find you before you seek them. That is the evidence, that is the echo of divine protection. You cannot see the wind, but you see the trees move. You cannot see the angels, but you see the course of your life shifting. When you choose peace instead of panic, that's their presence. When you feel courage you cannot explain, that's their intervention. When you are held back from what you wanted, but preserved for what you needed, that's their orchestration. The mind conditioned by the world will miss it, explain it away, call it chance. But the awakened mind recognizes the signs. It understands that the higher you dwell in thought, the more visible their work becomes. Not because they start working then, but because you finally start seeing clearly. You must walk through your days not trying to summon protection, but assuming protection. You do not need to ask, are they with me? You need to live from, they never left. Even when you were at your lowest, they stood over you. Even when you cursed your path, they cleared it. Even when you doubted your worth, they stood in place, because God's command over your life had not changed. Do you understand the weight of that? that even your unbelief could not send them away, that even your fear could not cancel their assignment. That means their loyalty is not based on your feelings, it's based on your divine design. There is a realm beyond your senses, operating every moment of your life, moving in perfect order. What feels like silence is strategy. What feels like delay is divine timing. What feels like isolation is preservation. You are guarded in traffic, in dreams, in sleep. You are shielded in conversations you never hear, protected from attacks you never feel, delivered from disasters you never witness, and still you doubt, still you wait for evidence. But you do not need signs to walk by faith. You need faith to see the signs. And when you decide to shift from waiting for proof to living in knowing, the invisible begins to flood the visible. That's when miracles feel natural. That's when peace becomes your baseline. That's when the unshakable calm takes over, not because trouble vanished, but because truth took root. You are more protected than you know, because protection is not what surrounds your body, it's what surrounds your belief. The angels of God answer to your consciousness, not your complaints. And when you raise your consciousness to match your divine identity, they do not need permission, they receive direction. Now walk, not as if you're vulnerable. Walk as if you're invisible to harm, because your faith has made you untouchable by fear. Walk as if every step you take is cleared before you. Walk as if there are hands guiding you, light leading you, and power backing you, not because you hope it's true, but because it already is. And as you walk through the world with this knowing, things begin to change, subtly at first, then unmistakably. You'll notice the way certain people no longer cross your path, the way closed doors never reopen, the way strange delays turn into divine redirections. But even more than that, you will notice something within you shift, a quiet certainty, a holy confidence, a stillness that doesn't need external validation to believe it is protected. That is not delusion, that is divine awareness. You see, angels are not bound by your schedule or limited to your logic. They do not wait for your plan, they follow God's. Their role is not to entertain you, but to escort you into destiny. And while you may never see them with your eyes, you will see the results of their presence with your life. When you nearly fell but didn't, when you should have broken but healed, when everything said it should have been over, but somehow you rose again. That is the language of the unseen. That is the trail they leave behind, quiet footprints across the landscape of your becoming. You think the breakthrough was a coincidence. You think the peace you suddenly felt was just your mind calming down. You think the opportunity that landed in your lap was luck. But all along it was them, ministering spirits responding to the call that your soul didn't even know it had made. That's the mystery. That you don't have to consciously summon help to be helped. That the very nature of divine protection is proactive, not reactive. It does not wait for the disaster to strike. It goes ahead of time and disarms the trap. You might have walked into the lion's den unaware, but they shut the mouths before you stepped in. You might have been surrounded by betrayal, but they concealed your heart from the sting of it. You might have been on the edge of a decision that would derail your future, but they whispered just enough wisdom to make you pause, and you thought you just changed your mind. But you didn't. You were intercepted, redirected, saved. There is something sacred in the delays you resent, something holy in the things that didn't work out. Because often divine protection looks like divine prevention. God's angels don't always fight battles. They sometimes just keep you from entering them. The job you lost, the relationship that ended, the plan that fell through, it wasn't failure. It was a firewall, a barrier built by unseen hands because they saw what you could not. And one day, in hindsight, you will weep with gratitude for the no you once cried over. And yet your only task is to assume the presence, to walk as though you are not alone, even when you feel like you are, to know that in every unseen dimension there are forces moving in synchronized harmony on your behalf. And they don't need you to beg, they need you to believe. That is the code of the invisible. That is the frequency that activates the divine. Faith is not about feeling brave. It's about dwelling in the state of being guarded, chosen, favored, regardless of evidence. That's why it's powerful, because it defies what's seen. It roots itself not in circumstances, but in consciousness. The one who believes they are protected becomes invincible, not because the world changes, but because their perception does. And in that shift, everything bends. You become unbothered by what others fear. You become undisturbed by what others panic over. Because while they look around for signs, you look within. While they seek validation from the world, you draw power from the unseen realm. And in that space, angels rush to obey the state of your spirit. They encamp around those who walk in that posture, not a posture of pride, but of presence, a sacred stillness, a holy certainty. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to shout or strive. You just need to dwell in that knowing, and it becomes your shield. Protection is not only about safety, it's about preservation, it's about alignment, it's about preparing you not just to survive, but to fulfill the assignment that was placed on your life before you were ever aware. Angels are not there to make you comfortable, they are there to make you unstoppable. And for that to happen, sometimes they must tear down what you've built in fear, so that only what was built in faith remains. They will remove the counterfeit before the real thing appears. They will allow the storms to come, not to destroy you, but to reveal the foundation you've stood on. And when the dust clears, you'll see what lasted, and you'll know it wasn't by your strength. You will understand then that you were carried more times than you walked. You were held up by forces you never thanked. You were delivered from traps you never saw. Because the angels did not need applause, they only needed access, and your faith gave it to them. Every time you resist panic, every time you choose peace over fear, every time you affirm that all is well, even when the world says otherwise, you extend that access. You align yourself with the divine pattern. You come into agreement with heaven's rhythm. And that agreement becomes a highway for miracles, for interventions, for outcomes that defy logic. You will begin to notice it more and more, the sudden clarity in confusion, the stranger who says the exact words you needed to hear, the opportunity that arrives just after you gave up, the breakthrough that wasn't supposed to happen. These are not accidents. They are the fingerprints of God's messengers. They operate in perfect silence, yet their work is thunderous. They move with invisibility, yet their impact shakes everything. And still, most do not see. They keep waiting for flashing lights, for wings and halos. But that's not how the divine reveals itself. It comes as a still small voice, as a nudge, a pause, a door that closes before it harms you. It moves in whispers, in synchronicities, in gut feelings that guide you without explanation. That is the way of the angels. So train yourself to see differently. Train your spirit to detect the shift before it happens. Let your soul become so tuned to divine presence that you no longer need a miracle to believe. You become the miracle. Let your life become so rooted in trust that you no longer chase protection. You walk as if it is your shadow. And when fear comes, not if but when, because it will, stand still and remember, fear is not the absence of angels. It is the absence of awareness. They are still there, even in the valley, even in the midnight hour, even in the heartbreak and the loss and the silence. They are there, not just holding back danger, but holding you together. And when you can rest in that, you no longer need to fight every battle. You only need to stand. Because there is nothing more powerful than a soul who walks in the quiet confidence of being watched over, not watched to be judged, but watched to be preserved. And when you walk in that reality, you stop reacting to the chaos around you. You start radiating the calm that comes from within, the calm that says, I am not alone. I am covered. I am chosen. And because I know that, I cannot be shaken. Even when the winds rise, even when the road twists, even when the world trembles, I remain. Because I do not stand in my own strength, I stand in the alignment of God's design. And with that design come protectors, guides, guardians, not seen, but always felt. Keep walking as if they walk with you, because they do. Keep choosing trust even when your eyes see nothing, because the unseen has already moved. Keep aligning with the truth that you are surrounded by divine intelligence that knows your path better than you ever could. And let that truth free you, not just from fear, but from striving, from chasing, from overthinking. You are not fragile, you are not exposed, you are not at the mercy of this world. You are sealed in favor, you are escorted by the unseen. And when you finally believe that, not just in word but in state, you will become untouchable in spirit, unstoppable in purpose, and unshakable in peace. And now that you understand this, now that this awareness begins to settle not just in your intellect but in your spirit, you'll begin to live differently. You'll no longer waste energy explaining your peace to others who can't see what surrounds you. You'll no longer defend the calm that seems irrational to the fearful, because you know something they don't. You know you are backed by the invisible. You know that your stillness is not weakness, it is divine trust, and in that trust, angels move freely. Not because you strive, but because you allow. You do not have to strive to be kept. You are already kept. You do not have to earn protection. It is inherent in your divine nature. Your only role is to surrender to that truth, to rest in it, to let it carry you when your mind cannot. And in that rest, strength multiplies, courage multiplies, discernment sharpens. You begin to recognize moments not as random, but as orchestrated. You begin to walk with a prophetic sense of timing, knowing when to speak and when to be silent, when to move and when to wait. And that knowing, it is not yours alone. It is the whisper of the eternal echoed through the presence of angels. They do not make noise, but they make history. They do not draw attention, but they shift atmospheres. And if you have ever walked into a room and felt a sudden peace or a sudden warning, it was not your imagination. It was your sensitivity to their nearness. They don't need to be seen to be active, they only need to be acknowledged inwardly, honored not with ritual but with recognition. When you recognize their presence, you align with it. And once aligned, you walk in divine rhythm. In divine rhythm, things begin to align without effort. Delays lose their sting, interruptions lose their offense. You begin to understand that everything is moved by a higher order, that even what seemed unfair was arranged for your ascension, that even what felt like rejection was really protection. And protection, when understood spiritually, no longer looks like insulation from difficulty, it looks like revelation through it. You may walk through fire, but the flames will not burn you, because angels do not always deliver you from the storm, they deliver you through it. Sometimes their role is not to stop the storm, but to ensure you don't drown. Sometimes their purpose is not to remove the thorn, but to give you strength to walk with it without pain. You become stronger, not because the world gets easier, but because you begin to see everything differently. You begin to see everything spiritually. And the more spiritually you see, the more you begin to trust that the seen world is the shadow and the unseen world is the source. You are not here by accident. You are not being tested for punishment, you are being refined for purpose. And the angels assigned to your life are not part of a myth, they are part of your mandate. They do not appear to impress you, they operate to elevate you, to escort you into becoming what you are already designed to be. They do not follow you because of your performance, they follow you because of your position, a position you hold in divine intention. You are not ordinary, you are not exposed, you are encoded with the blueprint of heaven, and that blueprint is protected at all costs. That means when the enemy tries to sabotage your identity, angels intervene. When fear tries to dim your light, angels reignite. When darkness tries to drown your voice, angels lift you back into remembrance. You are not guarded only in body, you are guarded in essence, in destiny, in purpose. And when you forget, they remember. When you sleep, they stay alert. When you wander, they whisper the way back. Your spirit knows this truth even when your mind forgets. That is why some of your breakthroughs came not when you understood more, but when you finally let go. Because surrender is the doorway through which the divine flows. When you stop trying to force it and start trusting what is already at work, heaven's strategy unfolds. Not always fast, not always loud, but always right on time. Always perfectly placed, always layered with wisdom beyond your comprehension. Some of your greatest protections came dressed as disappointment. Some of your greatest blessings came through broken doors. And now, as your eyes are open to the pattern, you begin to give thanks not just for what happened, but for what didn't. You give thanks for the car that didn't start that morning, for the person who never called back, for the opportunity that slipped through your hands, because now you know there was another hand holding you the whole time. And it was not idle, it was intentional. This awareness shifts your inner posture. You no longer wake up bracing for the worst, you rise expecting alignment. You no longer go to sleep with anxiety about tomorrow, you rest, knowing that angels will minister to your spirit even as you dream. You no longer try to convince yourself of safety, you begin to embody it. You move differently, you speak differently, you decide differently. Because you no longer move from fear, you move from faith. And that movement is magnetic to the invisible realm. The more you live from that place, the more divine coincidences begin to cluster around you. You start meeting the right people at the right time. You start hearing the right words at the exact moment you need them. You start finding yourself at crossroads that lead to destiny, not destruction. And the world calls it chance, but your spirit knows better. Your spirit remembers the promise. He gives his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. But ways here means more than paths. It means your becoming, your shifts, your transitions, your inner evolution. They are charged with watching over every version of you on the way to the fulfillment of your purpose, even the version that doubted, even the version that broke, even the version that forgot who you were. They stayed, because your design was never in question, because your value was never revoked. This knowing turns your walk into a declaration. You no longer whisper prayers of desperation. You walk as the embodiment of answered prayer. You carry a quiet authority. You speak less but impact more. You react less but discern more. You fear less but expect more. Because now you don't wait for the miraculous. You realize it is your natural habitat. The protection you seek is not something to chase. It is something to awaken within. And when you awaken to it, the atmosphere around you changes. Your home becomes more peaceful, your mind becomes more still, your body begins to heal, your relationships begin to recalibrate, not because you did more, but because you remembered who you are and who is assigned to you. You become immune to manipulation, you become free from anxiety, because now you are ruled not by circumstance, but by awareness. And that awareness activates everything. The angels who stand around you are not waiting for your performance. They are waiting for your permission. And permission is not given with lips, it is given by alignment. By choosing to live from the truth of your divine safety rather than the illusion of human vulnerability. Nothing has changed except your awareness, and yet everything changes because of it. That is the mystery, that is the majesty. That as you shift within, the world around you conforms. That as you see yourself differently, the invisible realm responds. That as you dwell in the knowing of divine protection reveals itself more clearly. And the more you stay in that state, the more permanent it becomes, not a fleeting feeling, but a foundation. A way of being, a spiritual posture that doesn't change with circumstances. You begin to understand that protection is not just a one-time rescue, but a continuous reality. It is not about being spared from all hardship, but being sustained through all things. It is the assurance that no matter where you are, who you are with, or what is happening around you, something greater is surrounding you, watching over you, guiding you. And when you make decisions from that knowing, your life begins to reflect that invisible shield. You stop second-guessing every move, because you trust that even if you choose wrong, the divine will reroute you. You stop fearing loss, because you realize nothing real can be taken from you, only illusions fall away. You stop waiting for people to confirm your path, because angels confirm it daily with synchronicity, peace, and divine timing. That's how you begin to live, not needing permission from the world, because you've already been appointed by heaven. This is not arrogance, it is reverence. It is humility in its purest form, knowing that it's not your might, not your intellect, not your hustle that holds your life together. It is the orchestration of a higher power, working with agents unseen, responding to the vibration of your inner world. Every time you choose peace over panic, stillness over striving, belief over doubt, you speak the language of heaven. You allow the divine agents to act freely, unbound by your resistance. Most people wonder why they feel stuck, but do not realize they've locked the door from the inside with fear. They've made worry their baseline and wonder why miracles feel delayed. They plead for signs while living in states of contradiction. But the angels respond not to words. They respond to being, to presence, to alignment, to the frequency of the soul that trusts even when there is no reason to. That is faith, that is surrender, that is the condition where protection becomes active, evident, and permanent. You will begin to notice that when you live from that place, you need fewer words and see more results. The things you used to beg for now find you without striving. The warnings come early, the detours appear before disaster, the wisdom arrives before the mistake, the opportunities appear before you even know you're ready. And all of this is not a reward for effort. It's the natural result of living in divine trust. It is not about deserving, it is about aligning. And anyone can align at any time, no matter their past. Even if you've walked through fire, even if you've made choices from fear, even if you've turned away from truth, none of it disqualifies you, because divine protection is not reactive, it is redemptive. It weaves every failure into a thread of strength. It turns every regret into a revelation. The angels are not counting your mistakes, they are counting your steps, making sure that even when you wander, you don't get lost. That even when you fall, you are not forsaken. The path may twist, but it is never abandoned. And this is what gives you the audacity to live with boldness, not recklessness, to speak with authority, not ego, to walk into rooms knowing you carry something greater than yourself, not because of status, but because of spiritual awareness. You are not just a body, you are a carrier of divine purpose, and that purpose is protected, even when you forget the assignment. The whispers you hear when the world is loudest, that's not your imagination. That's them reminding you who you are. The heaviness that lifts after prayer, that's not coincidence. That's them responding to your return to peace. The door that opens without force, the moment that aligns without effort, the burden that lifts without warning, these are all signs. You are not alone. You never were. Every divine assignment comes with divine assistance. You are not expected to carry it alone. The calling on your life is too great to be left unguarded. That's why heaven has marked you. That's why angels are on assignment, not to flatter you, but to finish what was written. And your only role is to walk in the truth of it, to stop waiting for evidence and start living from essence, to walk through the world as one who is divinely backed. You don't need to convince others. You don't need to prove your favor. You don't need to post your miracles for them to be real. Your life will speak for itself. Your peace will preach louder than your words. Your presence will carry a frequency that unsettles what is false and comforts what is true. And when people ask you what changed, you won't have to explain. You'll simply know. It was never just you walking through the storm. It was never just you making the turn. It was never just you finding your way. It was them, a sign before time, dispatched by design, moving in rhythm with your soul. And now that you know, now that you remember, you can stop worrying about the how. The how is handled, the way is made, the help is near. And everything that is unfolding in your life, even the parts you don't understand yet, is under divine surveillance. You are not being overlooked. You are being covered, not from afar, but up close, closer than breath, closer than thought. This is why you can rest. This is why you can exhale. Because what you cannot see is still working. What you do not know is still being orchestrated. What you have not planned is still being prepared. And every piece of it is guarded. Every step is protected. Every detail is accounted for. You are not a wandering soul. You are a watched one. And those watching are not idle. They are mighty. They are swift. They are wise. They are present. And now your job is not to worry. It is to stay in alignment. Not to chase, but to dwell. Not to strive, but to believe. Let your spirit be still enough to hear, soft enough to feel, strong enough to follow. Let your inner world be so anchored in truth that nothing external can shake you. Let the awareness of angelic protection be your daily state, not an occasional feeling, and watch as everything around you begins to mirror the safety within. Because the truth is, there are no ordinary days when you are divinely protected. What seems like a simple walk to the store, a casual conversation, a delayed flight, a changed plan, these are all places where the hand of heaven is moving. You are never truly aware of how much is happening around you, on your behalf, without your conscious participation. But make no mistake, heaven is always active. The angels are always present, and their movements are not random, they are strategic, ordered by divine intelligence to maintain the integrity of your purpose. So when you feel the urge to delay your journey by 5 minutes, honor it. When you suddenly lose interest in something you once pursued obsessively, trust that. When a door closes, when a relationship ends, when a job disappears, don't just mourn the loss, seek the pattern. Because protection is not always sweet. Sometimes it feels like disruption, sometimes it looks like chaos, but within it, the divine is moving, breaking what cannot hold you, closing what cannot grow you, removing what cannot go with you. And that is protection in its highest form. Not just safety, but sanctification. Not just preservation, but preparation. Every moment is layered. What you see is the surface, but beneath it, angels are placing the right person on your path, removing the wrong voices from your circle, rerouting delays into divine setups. The invisible is always active, always responding to the tone of your soul. That's why inner peace is not just a nice feeling, it is an alignment signal. It tells the heavens you are ready, you are listening, you are trusting, and in that trust, doors open that no man can shut. Some people wonder why others seem to live with such ease, with such divine flow, with such favor that doesn't match their effort. But it's not about effort, it's about state. They have stepped into the awareness of the unseen. They don't fight for miracles, they expect them. They don't panic in uncertainty, they know protection walks before them. And so the angels move swiftly, unhindered by fear or doubt. They move on faith, they move on assumption, they move on spiritual posture. That is why the greatest shift is not in the world, but in you. When you stop thinking you are vulnerable and start knowing you are invincible, not because of ego, but because of essence, then your life begins to mirror the truth you've embraced. You do not have to chase protection. You do not have to plead for safety. You only need to abide in awareness. That awareness is your armor. It clothes you in an invisible covering. And even when the enemy plots, it cannot prosper, for the angels already stand between you and the strike. Have you not wondered why the attacks never broke you completely? Why the loss didn't finish you? Why the betrayal didn't silence you? It is because you are surrounded by what the eye cannot see. Because even when you forgot to pray, your spirit was still protected. Even when you wavered in faith, your assignment remained intact. This is why you are still here, not by luck, not by strength, but by divine mercy carried on angelic wings. And now more than ever, you are being called to remember what's true beneath the noise, to remember what's constant beneath the change, to remember that the invisible is more powerful than the visible, and that the kingdom you belong to is not of this world. You are not here to merely survive, you are here to reign, to manifest, to create. But you cannot do that while walking in fear. You cannot do that while waiting for signs. You must become the sign. You must walk as the proof that the unseen is real. This is the secret the awakened soul lives by, that what protects you is not behind you, it's ahead of you. What shields you is not reactive, it is proactive. And what guards you is not weak, it is divine intelligence in motion. So when you feel led to move, move. When you feel pulled to pause, pause. When the way doesn't make sense to your logic, trust the deeper knowing. That knowing is the voice of the divine. That knowing is how the angels speak. They do not shout. They don't always rescue you from the fire. Sometimes they simply walk through it with you. Sometimes they let the walls fall so you can be rebuilt on stronger grounds. Sometimes they close every door you're begging to open, because what's on the other side would delay your purpose. And the more you surrender to that reality, the more peace you will feel, even in uncertainty. Because you will realize it's not your job to understand everything. It's your job to trust the one who does. And trust, when pure, brings rest. Not laziness, not inaction, but the kind of stillness that knows movement is happening whether you see it or not. The kind of confidence that knows you are safe whether the road is smooth or shaking beneath your feet. Because angels don't report to your calendar. They operate by heaven's timeline. And when you let go of needing to control the when, you step into alignment with the how. And the how is always miraculous. There are breakthroughs already in motion. There are answers already on the way. There are battles already won on your behalf that you won't even know about until years later, when you look back and realize something held me, something covered me, something kept me from the edge. That something was never a thing, it was a presence, it was a force. It was being, sent by God's own authority to watch over the unfolding of your life. And now, you are awakening to this, not as a concept, but as a conviction, not as a belief, but as a lived reality. The more you dwell in it, the more it will express itself through your experiences. The more you yield to it, the more clarity you will have. Because protection isn't just about being saved from harm. It's about being aligned with heaven's intention. It's about being brought into harmony with your true path. And every time you resist fear, every time you choose trust, every time you live as though you are protected, you give heaven permission to move freely in your life. So don't wait for another sign, don't wait for a feeling, don't wait for someone to confirm what your spirit already knows. Begin now. Begin to live as if the unseen is real, because it is. Begin to walk as though heaven is involved in every detail, because it is. Begin to believe that angels are not far away stories. They are present, help, here and now, moving with precision, with purpose and with love. So now, walk forward, not with hesitation, but with holy certainty. You are not guessing your way through life, you are guided. You are not fending off chaos alone, you are defended by forces far greater than your eyes can perceive. The angels of God have been charged to keep you, to lift you, to carry you, not once, but always. Let this truth saturate your mind. Let it steady your heart. Let it become the atmosphere you move in. For when you live from this awareness, you do not fear what's ahead. You recognize that every step is watched, every moment is guarded, and every outcome is already aligned. You are not alone. You are surrounded. You are sealed in divine protection. Now, live like it.